Hey guys, I'm Amber, the Harvest Moon Witch, and welcome to my channel. This is a place of love, hope, and inspiration. I do weekly monthly pick-a-card readings. I also prepare spells and I share them on my YouTube channel, and I also talk about everything and everything Wicca and my journey. So if anything sparks your interest about what I just said, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that bell so you know when you'll be the first to know when I post a video. So in this video, we're going to talk about what exactly a lunar eclipse is, what energies we may be feeling during the lunar eclipse, what intentions we can create during the lunar eclipse, or what intentions will be good during the lunar eclipse, and some lore, some fun lore that history has used about or thought about the lunar eclipse. Do a channeled energy reading to see what we may be feeling during the lunar eclipse so we can kind of prepare for it. All right, so let's get started. So what exactly is a lunar eclipse? Well, a lunar eclipse is when the moon, the earth, and the sun are all perfectly aligned. A total lunar eclipse is when the moon moves in front of the earth's shadow completely. Now this is called the umbra section. So the earth's shadow is called the umbra, and the outer part of the shadow is called the preumbral. Umbral, whatever. And when the moon moves into the earth's umbra, the moon is completely covered and you can't see the light, okay, because the sun shines the light on the moon, and when the moon moves into the earth's shadow, then you can't see the light. The sun can't reach the moon, and it kind of makes like a ring, like an outer ring around the moon. Not like outer, that's a different thing. That's like a solar eclipse. I know, so confusing, but it's okay. And so this lunar eclipse will be a preumbral eclipse. Now, what that means is the moon is just gonna look a little dim. I live in Northern California, so unfortunately I don't think I'm gonna be seeing any of the dimness, but we'll see. I would love to know where you guys are at. So if you are, follow me on Instagram at 5expressions_guide, and I would love to see where, hi Cleo. I would love to see where you guys are at and what the moon looks like from where you are. I will definitely post on my Instagram of what the moon looks like to me, but I would love to see what it looks like for you. A lunar eclipse happens at least once a year. It's gonna happen again at the end of the year in November. But after a lunar eclipse, a solar eclipse always follows. Now, this has to do with the Earth's orbit. I am not going to get into the details about that because I have no freaking idea how to explain it. But it has something to do with the Earth axis and tilting on 5 degrees or something like that. And you know what, you can look it up if you want to get all technical with it, but I'm not very technical. I'm more about the energy. You know, I'm not a scientist. I am a witch. So yeah, I'm all about the energy. You want to learn about like the actual reasons why? You can go ahead and do your own research. So a lunar eclipse can only occur during a full moon, and after a lunar eclipse, a solar eclipse during the new moon will happen right after that. So the next new moon will be a solar eclipse, and stay tuned for that video because I will be posting that next week. Yes, next week I believe, or the week after that, I'm not sure. I'm also going to do a pick-a-card reading, so who knows. So what energies and frequencies can a lunar eclipse create? Well, some people like to think or feel or know, I don't know, whatever you feel. I'm definitely going to take lots and lots of notes and see what I'm internally feeling. A lunar eclipse can feel like all of the moon's phases all in one, because the Earth's shadow, it could look waxing and waning, and it's also a full moon. And if it was a total lunar eclipse, then it would be a new moon as well. So my prediction, this is just what I feel like is gonna happen. So this lunar eclipse is gonna be a preumbral lunar eclipse, which means the moon is just gonna look dim. And people say that like, oh, the lunar eclipse is gonna be like so much energy and you're gonna be feeling it like twice as much. So if you're moon sensitive, you're gonna be feeling it double time. But my take on it is the moon is going to look dim. So it almost makes me think that our energies are going to be dim too. Maybe us moon sensitive people won't be feeling the moon as much because it's dimmer. So what I mean by moon sensitive is during a full moon, the full moon can bring about all these things that we've been holding up inside of us. It brings our subconscious to our conscious. So if we've been putting things out the back burner, when a full moon happens, it's gonna be like, no, I want to be heard. I want to be heard. Let's figure this out. So during a lunar eclipse, this could be created times 2. Definitely during a total lunar eclipse, I believe strongly that everything's gonna be wonky. I mean, already, like, you already know, like during a full moon, people go quote unquote nuts. There's a lot more car accidents. That is proven. There's a lot more car accidents during a lunar eclipse. And, you know, with everything going on in the world right now, who knows? So maybe I am wrong about that dimming thing. Maybe it is like just gonna be like, I was about to like poke my nose with that. That was weird. Anyways, so maybe we're already kind of feeling this lunar eclipse, but it's gonna be I'm really curious to see what's gonna be happening in the world, you know, during the actual lunar eclipse. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Since the moon, the sun, and the earth are all working together in harmony, this reminds me of the Temperance card. Now, this means that we're going to be working with energies that we may not like, that we've just been putting off the back burner, but that's what the full moon does. And the lunar full moon guaranteed is going to make you're going to want to make drastic changes in your life. So just be prepared for that. Don't be cautious. Go with the flow. Be in your flow state. I believe Temperance card is Temperance card is the flow. Yeah, it's the flow state card. And it's all about just going with it. Oh, I feel so like just go with it. See where it takes you. Don't ignore it. Don't start, you know, getting into a devil state. We want to stay in a temperance state. We want to work with energies that we're not used to, because during this lunar eclipse, we are going to make drastic changes in our life. And this is, again, like, I feel like we're already feeling this lunar energy because of just everything going on in the world. So the lunar eclipse is bringing these things from our subconscious to our conscious so we can release them and move on and move forward. Okay, if we just ignore our problems, they're just gonna come back. And that the moon is gonna be like, you didn't work this out last time. We're gonna have to work it out again and again and again and again and again. Which is why if you keep getting the same tarot card, it means that you need to work this out. You're ignoring me, so let's go. So whatever you're feeling during the lunar eclipse, write it down. It's good to get your thoughts out on paper, and then it's like that's almost the first step of releasing it. And then your conscious is, and then as your subconscious is bringing things to your conscious and you're writing it down, then during your waking life and after the lunar moon, you're like, oh wait, I should do this instead. And then you're slowly progressing and growing and becoming your higher self. So if you're not sure what intentions you want to do or you want to start creating during this lunar eclipse, my suggestion would be to start clearing out all those energies, all those negative energies. So during the solar eclipse, you can start setting those new intentions and bringing new things into your life. Which brings me to my next part of the video and what intentions would be good to do during a lunar eclipse. So getting prepared for that new moon is going to be a great option for you. And if you're a beginner witch, I highly, highly, highly suggest you do this. If you've never worked with moon magic before, I highly suggest you start do some fire magic. Also, I would do some water magic as well. Actually, no, fire, yes, because it's the Sagittarius full moon too. Yes, boom, okay. So, do some fire magic, okay? I actually have a video about that, a release spell, so I'll go ahead and put that in the little button right up there. And yeah, I highly suggest, especially if you're a beginner witch, release all those energies so you can start bringing in new energies during the new moon, okay? And it's a new moon in Cancer, all right? So I'm not even gonna get started on that, but ooh. So if you are a beginner witch, never, ever, ever stop yourself from doing a spell. But first and foremost, as long as it does no harm to anybody else or yourself or your surroundings, okay? Never doubt your intuition. Always trust your gut. Because during the lunar eclipse, we're going to be making these drastic changes in our lives. And we are going to want to do these spells, but I know that there's a lot of big community. I know in the spiritual community, it's like, oh no, if you're a beginner witch, don't do spells, blah, 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 it could backfire. But you know what? It's all about the learning process, and the universe isn't going to answer your call if it's not what you're supposed to do. We're being witches, we make mistakes, and we grow from them, and we learn from them, and if they don't work, we try again, and we get up, and we keep trying again. Never, ever, ever put that limiting to belief on yourself. How else are you going to get experience? Just because it's a lunar eclipse doesn't mean that you shouldn't, because yeah, it may be amplified, but you're putting this limited belief on yourself. And during the lunar eclipse, it's about drastic changes, and you're going to, if you've never ever wanted to do a spell and you want to do a spell during the lunar eclipse, that is definitely the time to do it. During any full moon, your intuition is going to be heightened, which is why it's a great time to do divination. And I totally believe that during this lunar eclipse, it's going to be even more awakened, because the lunar eclipse is going to create a portal. The solar lunar energies coincide together, and when they work together, as the solar and the lunar goddess and gods work together in harmony, they're going to create a veil for us. They're going to lift the veil for us and create a portal for us to enter, to get even deeper into maybe our superconscious, if we want to take it that far. The lunar goddesses and the solar gods are going to be working together, and they're going to create that portal. That portal is the lunar eclipse, the preamble, the shadow. That is the portal, okay? So when you are doing your spell work, you can easily talk to them through divination, through runes or pendulums. This would definitely be an advanced thing, that I will say. When you're working with deities, it's better to start off slow rather than talking them to directly. I am definitely not ready to talk to them directly. I definitely talk to, but maybe during the lunar eclipse and be like, hey, I want to talk to Aphrodite. Who knows? But I talk to my spirit guides on a regular basis, but I don't feel like I'm ready to start communicating with the gods and goddesses, because that's a big step. But do whatever your intuition tells you. Again, if it does no harm to yourself, to others, or your surroundings, okay? Always follow your intuition, as long as those three things are not in play, okay? Another good thing to do during a lunar eclipse would be transformation meditations. Yes, okay? So we're gonna make those drastic changes, and during a meditation, we can bring our unconscious to our subconscious to our conscious, and we can figure out what exactly needs to be done, what needs to be transformed, what negative things are coming up, what positive things may be coming in or getting prepared to coming in, what's blocked, what's unblocked. Just kind of like give yourself a time to figure out what's going on with yourself and what you need to start growing about. The full moon is all about the full moon. Full moons are always about realizing what no longer serves you. So during the waning moon, we can start, or is it waxing? So during the waning moon, we can start releasing those things. Now I gotta look it up. Now let's talk about some fun thing I wanted to add, some lore of lunar eclipses. Now, lunar eclipses used to be known as a bad omen, because back then, they were like, the moon would disappear, and it's like, why is this happening? Because back then they were all about, they didn't have religion. Magic was their religion, and it was just part of their everyday life. And back then, science wasn't a thing. I mean, it started to become a thing, but there was like talk about like the moon being eaten, you know, and they thought that it was just a bad thing, and maybe some things like just kind of caused chaos. I mean, kind of like what's going on right now in the world. But and some movies that actually use this, actually the TV show that I wanted to mention was The Witcher. I'm not going to give away the actual show, but during the show in the beginning, they mentioned that, you know, a girl was born during an eclipse, and they all thought that she was evil and that she was, you know, she had special powers and she blah, 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 blah. And nobody liked her. Everybody wanted her dead because she was born, just because she was born during an eclipse. It didn't matter what kind of person she was. People just feared her. Which, if you were born during an eclipse, man, you are a special being, and you are not evil. I can tell you that right now. Because actually, if you're born during an eclipse or a full moon or something like that, you're more susceptible to those energies, and you easily can not let them really affect you. I'm super moon sensitive, and I like before the full moon or the new moon, I feel blocked, and I just feel like I feel all these different energies, and I'm just like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. And then it's not until after the full moon I feel like, oh, okay, now I get it. Now I'm coming back down. Another fun fact, it's not really fun, it's more evil, but Christopher Columbus actually used the lunar eclipse for his own personal gain. And this is not the good kind of personal gain, this is the bad kind. He basically because he's an astronomer, he knew when exactly, down to the time and day, when the lunar eclipse was going to happen. And he used that to his own advantage to get the Indians to help support his men. Because the Indians were like, no, I'm not going to feed your men for you. Like, you know, do your own thing. This is our land. Like, why do I need to help you? You're invading my land. And Christopher Columbus was like, well, if you don't help me, then the gods are going to take away the moon, and you are going to be, you know, cursed or something. And sure enough, that's what happened, and the Indians started freaking out. And this is a actual fact. You can fact check me. I looked it up many times. So yeah, unfortunately some people like to use and I feel like that's another reason why magic gets such a bad rep, because people, it's not manipulative, it's about knowing your personal power. And your personal power is something that all of us have. You know, you don't have to be a witch to have personal power. Again, law of attraction is not the same thing as witchcraft, but it's similar. It's like, you know, there's that border, there's like that line, you know, in between, and law of attraction and witchcraft is like right there. Yep, it's right there. It's like kissing. All right, now we're going to do, or I'm going to do, a channeled energy reading for you guys to see what energies we may be feeling during the lunar eclipse. So what energies, whoa, that was fast. All right, here we go. We got two cards here. Oh, okay. The Emperor. This is my Light Seer Tarot deck. I love these cards so much. So we got the Emperor, and we got the Page of Swords. So this tells me that we are going to start taking initiative towards our ideas. We are definitely in a Page of Swords state right now. I feel like, especially with the world, everything with the world going on, you know, we're trying to take a stand. We're trying to plant our foundation. We're trying to be leaders. But the Page of Swords is an activist card for sure. So this is more, all right. So this is actually a really accurate reading for what is going on in the world right now. Wow. So coincide, you see that, you know, this guy is like, he knows what he needs to do. He's on top of the world. He's very calm though. I feel like this is like Martin Luther King energy right now. not just because of his skin color, but I mean, look at his presence. He's just so calm and just so strong, and he's so confident, and he's got the pillar, and he knows what he needs to do. But we have the Page of Swords here, and the Page of Swords is definitely an activist card, someone who just like why can't you listen to me? Like, it's so simple, and that's what we're doing right now. So definitely, like, with everything going on, but I feel like we're gonna make some leeway. I feel like I have a strong feeling that something positive is going to happen out of this. But let's see what other cards coming up. What energies will we be feeling? And I'm not saying the Page of Swords is a bad card. It's a great card, but they're babies, you know. They don't really know how to get their message across like the Emperor can, or knows how to lead like the Emperor can. You know, we have these Page of Swords running around trying to talk their way and scream their way, or just walk around not saying anything, and we're trying to get our groundings back, and we're trying to make an impact. We're trying to be leaders. We're trying to show the world what's going on. And got the Moon card, but at the same time, it's a mystery. We've got light and dark energy howling at the moon. It doesn't matter if you're good or bad, or light or dark, or a dark witch or a light witch, or it doesn't matter. The moon affects everybody, and we are going to and right now it's just a bit of a mystery. It's a bit of a mystery of what's going to happen. Unfortunately, I don't think Tarot's going to tell us what's going to happen. I think they want it to be a surprise, or Spirit wants it to be a surprise. But the moon is definitely going to amplify. I can feel it. It's going to amplify us. But the moon is also reminding us to look into the past, of what actions we made in the past and how they're affecting our present. There's a lot of things we need to learn still from the past. Let's see what else. A couple more cards. All right, what energies are going to be coming up during the lunar eclipse? What energies are coming up during the lunar eclipse? Oh, okay, here we go. All right, last card. Ooh, the Lovers. Okay, so the Lovers is a decision card to me. It's also about love, and it's also about, you know, making decisions to be with whoever you want, making the decision to go out and change the world, or change the world in your own house. You have the decision, you have the power to do what you need to do. And I just want you to know we're also in Gemini season, so this is a Gemini card. Okay, wait, one more card. All right, because I feel it. I feel that there's one more card. Clarification on the Lovers card. Need just a little clarification, because I feel like it's a warning. All right, got a few cards here. Okay. Yeah, it is a warning. I knew it. Okay, so I'm gonna put the Knight of Cups there for a second. But we've got the Six of Swords, going off into new directions, not knowing where we're gonna go. And then we got the Eight of Swords. We are our own worst enemy. We're not gonna get out of this without talking about it, without freeing ourselves. But we've put ourselves in this situation. Unfortunately, we keep making the same mistakes. We're still in this Page of Swords phase. You know, we need to upgrade. We're Page of Swords trying to be the Emperor, and unfortunately that just doesn't really work. And with the moon happening right now, it's just a little bit crazy. And the moon is definitely going to amplify everything, but you have power to make your own decisions. Okay, now the last card we got the Five of Cups. It's about the loss. Like, oh my god, this is crazy. Holy wow. Okay, this is way too close to hitting to home right now. Oh my gosh. You know, hold on one second. I just need a breather. Overall, I know we're gonna go to feel trapped. We're gonna feel like there's gonna be a lot of things bubbling up inside of us. We're gonna feel trapped. We're gonna feel the loss, and we need to be brave enough to go out into the world and make new decisions for ourselves, new ways of living, because it is bright. It is a bright future. And I'm gonna leave you on this. Love. Love with all your heart. Make the decision to love more. All right? It's okay. We have lost someone. Things are changing, but it's time to move past from the hate. It's time to move past from the sorrow. I know we're hurting right now. These are troubling times, and I know we're hurting, but this is a sign that we need to move forward from that. We need to get away from that. We need to move forward, and it's going to be a scary journey. We're leaving things behind. We're leaving our old ways behind, and we're going towards a new hope and new journey, and it's going to be okay. We may feel trapped, okay? But there's a light at the end of the tunnel, all right? We just have to take the risk to get there. Also, I feel like be on the lookout for people trying to like kind of wring out that fishing pole and reel you in, okay? Just be on the lookout for people trying to, you know, bubble you up and start something inside of you. That's what I'm getting with the Knight of Cups. Just be on the lookout for people trying to, you know, tempt you into something that maybe you don't want to do, because you have the power to make your own decision, and don't be influenced, okay? This card is about, you know, we have a biracial couple here, you know, and I can't even imagine what, you know, the troubles and the heartaches and the, you know, the struggles they have to go through, but they love each other, you know? They made the decision to love each other, and that is what it's all about. So next week I'm going to be doing my solar eclipse video, so be on the lookout for that. Blessed be, guys. I hope you have a fabulous day and enjoy the lunar eclipse. I know it's going to be a little bit difficult, but you got this, all right? Take care. Blessed be. Bye.